Previously on Let's Play Mega Man Maverick Hunter X.
So with Vile, we're actually going to be covering him in a separate playthrough. Just like with X, I'm going to be going through the entire game playing as this character. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, and we're going to be taking a small break from Maverick Hunter X. So if you're watching this video as it goes up, there's going to be a break from this playthrough for a bit.
One eternity later.
Oh, that was a much longer break than I was intending to take away from this game. Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. I promised years ago that I would cover Vile, and just as a reminder, how long ago was it when we wrapped up the X playthrough here in Mega Man Maverick Hunter X? Oh, June of 2016? Oh my gosh, this is way longer than a break I was meaning to take. Yikes. So, I want to first start things off by apologizing for taking a very, very extended break away from Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, as I promised a Vile playthrough not too long after wrapping up the X playthrough here in Maverick Hunter X. If you count over 8 years as not too long, then hey, I'm still committing to that said promise. And you want to know why it took me over 8 years to return to Mega Man Maverick Hunter X to finally tackle the Vile playthrough here in this said game? Well, simply put, at the time that I was covering Maverick Hunter X here on the channel, I didn't play through Vile's playthrough yet. And I was not prepared to record that for a little bit, and the plan was to practice Vile's playthrough and then return to this game maybe a few months to a year or two at most, but that said timetable kinda grew into a massive timetable of over 8 years. I apologize for this said wait, but it's been so long since I last played Mega Man Maverick Hunter X on my PlayStation TV that I don't even have the saves anymore from that original playthrough all the way back in 2016. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that situation, as you need to beat Mega Man Maverick Hunter X with X to unlock Vile as a playable character. Also, I don't remember this game looking as blurry as it does on the PlayStation TV. It's not the cleanest looking output, but we can fix all this. We have the technology.
Zoom in, enhance. Enhancement complete. Now loading Adrenaline, the PlayStation Portable interface.
This is so much better looking already.
X is back! The legendary Mega Man X series of intense action games have been revised and reborn on the PlayStation Portable. In addition to the standard X mode, which follows the exploits of the Maverick Hunters, this new version also includes the never-before-seen Vile mode. Also, get ready to witness firsthand the movement of Sigma's treasury and the brand new movie scene.
Capcom! Mega Man Maverick Hunter X!
This is more like it. A cleaned up image later and a full playthrough of Mega Man Maverick Hunter X under my belt. We're now ready to start a brand new game, but this time around We're finally covering the Vile mode here in Maverick Hunter X. We got a difficult selection of normal or hard. This mainly is going to change up just how much damage you're going to be taking, and I recommend on a first playthrough especially, pick normal. And we'll be going into why I think Vile mode is already hard enough as it is without difficulty bump once we jump into the game itself.
X, why does it have to be you? Come to reprimand me in person, did you?
I need your help to defeat X.
To defeat X?
Yes, in order to ensure our future and speed along our evolution.
What on earth are you talking about? What could that worrywart Hunter possibly do for us?
His worrying. That is precisely the quality that will prove beneficial to our cause. He alone possesses that ability. He thinks more deeply than the rest of us. He feels. Normal Reploids are no match for his heart. But he is unaware of his incredible power.
So to take advantage of this power of his, you're planning to go Maverick?
Precisely.
And you want me to help you?
That's why I've come here.
You're insane.
I won't force you. This isn't something most Reploids could do. I need someone who can go Maverick of their own accord.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm the one that's gonna change the world.
I'll show you how strong I am.
Incite rebellion. Split up the Hunter's forces. That's the way to get to X. But Sigma, I may be a wild card you hadn't counted on.
So immediately jumping into Vile mode here, in Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, we can see we got ourselves only 3 different kinds of weapons we can use at any given time. We have an arm cannon, which right now we're using the Cherry Blast, a front runner, which is our shoulder weapon of choice, and the leg weapon, which is the Bumpity Boom. These 3 different weapons have 3 different attributes, along with different firing patterns. So this is how Vile is different compared to X. He has a main gun on his arm. You get a shoulder gun here, which will shoot straight upwards, which is really good for enemies above you. And then you have a ground attack of some kind. In this case, we got ourselves some bombs. And honestly, just to start out, we have the same amount of health here as X does in his playthrough, but Vile feels more like a glass cannon compared to X in his own standalone playthrough. So, in my opinion, of the 2 different characters, Vile is already the hard mode, just on the normal difficulty. Bumping this to hard is only going to make your experience a lot worse, and I don't recommend it, as this game is already hard enough as it is, so I would just stick it to normal, in all honesty, for Vile. But his moveset is very interesting, as since he has 3 different weapons to use at any given time, you have 3 different ways of attacking pretty much every single enemy and boss that we'll be encountering throughout our entire adventure here as Vile. But some of these attacks you gotta be kind of up close and personal to even do any kind of damage, and that could leave you exposed, which that's not great, and some attacks are gonna be stronger than others. Another thing you're noticing is that weapon energy for Vile is kind of unnecessary when it comes to an actual pickup. And that's just because Vile has unlimited ammo as long as you just let it recharge after a while. So we do have a limit on how many times we can use our specific weapons, but it will just refill automatically after we're done. So you don't really need ammo drops for Vile in any capacity. They will help at times if you're low on ammo usage and you just need a refill real fast for using your guns yet again. But for the most part, you can just get away with just waiting for your ammo to refill, and then you can use your weapons once more.
Vile, what are you doing here?
X! How do you like being Sigma's puppet?
You've been drawn into Sigma's rebellion as well?
Rebellion? I couldn't care less. I just hate you, that's all.
This is as far as you go.
So here we go, our first boss battle is against X. So, the shoe's on the other foot this time. X fights Vile at the end of his first stage, but now Vile is fighting X at the end of his stage. We're gonna just drop some bombs on X's head here, and that will easily defeat him in no time at all.
Now let's find out which one of us is truly the better Reploid. Sigma was wrong. You're not the Reploid with the power to change the world. I am. Me. Vile.
X, hang in there, buddy.
Zero. If you're gonna take that B-class hunter's side, then I'll have to destroy you too.
Do your worst, Maverick, but...
Huh?
Not today. Let's get out of here, X.
X. Why does everyone like that guy? Whatever. When the time comes, they'll all know the truth.
Vile, my supporters have been revolting across the land. What is your plan?
Sigma, I have my own way of dealing with things. You just sit back and enjoy the show.
Very well.
You'll find out who really has the potential you talk about.
So now that we're done with the central highway stage, we have access to all 8 of the different Maverick stages here in Maverick Hunter X. And honestly, it's recommended right now to go after Chill Penguin because of what you can get from him at the end of the stage, as just like with X, Vile will also get weapons from beating the different bosses here in Maverick Hunter X. But we're going to be starting with Storm Eagle instead. This is going to be a lot harder, but it's going to be worth it for what we'll get at the end of Storm Eagle stage. Without any further ado, let's jump into the new type airport.
Storm Eagle.
I'll show you how strong I am.
So mainly jumping into Storm Eagle stage, you may have noticed that the theme here in this said level happens to be the exact same theme that was playing back in Central Highway. I don't know what was going through the devs' minds when making the Vile playthrough here in Maverick Hunter X, but the devs thought to themselves, yo, why don't we just replace all of the music here and basically every single stage for Vile specifically with this generic theme? I don't agree with this decision. Not to say that Vile's theme here is bad by any means, but it's very, very repetitive. And hearing it in every single level can get on your nerves really, really fast. So I recommend going to the options menu here in Maverick Hunter X and go to the sound settings and adjust the background music all the way to 0%, essentially turning off the music from Maverick Hunter X. Then from here you can substitute music from this game with whatever soundtrack that you would like. And I recommend doing that because, again, not to say that this song is bad, but hearing it for over an hour gameplay, for example, can really start getting on your nerves after a while. But up here on top of this green building, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves our first of many heart tanks. Just like X, Vile has a total of 8 heart tanks and 4 sub-tanks to collect, so we'll be going after all of them. We also got ourselves some ride armor here as Vile. Ride armor for Vile is very different compared to X, as not only do we have ourselves access to a cannon of some kind here, so we have a projectile to use, but we also have a timer ticking down, and when that timer hits 0, the ride armor will explode and we will no longer be able to use it. So you gotta be very mindful of how much time you have left in the ride armor. But you can also jump out of that said ride armor and make it explode prematurely. And in this case, we wanted to do so, as that will get us a sub-tank here in Storm Eagle stage. There is a way, though, to extend that time in the ride armor. If you want to extend the time for your said ride armor, you want to collect yourself ammo drops, as it does technically have an ammo meter, so you can refill the time ever so slightly if you can get yourself some ammo refills inside of that said armor. At this point, it's good that we have the sub-tank, but it's not really going to be helpful here. And since we don't have that much health at all, this boss we're about ready to fight can two-shot us if we're not careful. So let's take an abundance of caution heading into our boss fight against Storm Eagle.
So it begins.
Vile, I have no reason to fight you.
We're in agreement there. I have no reason to fight you either.
In that case, stand down. You're just confused, Vile. That's all.
I've always hated you, Storm Eagle. You and that smug face of yours.
Step into battle.
Alright, here we go. Our boss fight against Storm Eagle has begun. I want to be very careful here trying to fight Storm Eagle, as getting hit by Storm Eagle's body will do a lot of damage here to Vile. Want to go ahead and drop down bombs, because if we hit Storm Eagle with the said bombs, we will do a lot of damage to the said boss in general. Anytime Storm Eagle is above you, you want to go ahead and use your shoulder cannon to shoot straight up. But we gotta be extremely careful when we're near ledges here, because Storm Eagle can easily push us into the pit if we're not careful. There's no way we're recovering from that. So we gotta be mindful of what Storm Eagle is doing and really be able to read his set attacks. There you go. One more bomb dropped next to Storm Eagle's foot, and that is the big old bird defeated. Now it's Storm Eagle defeated, we're just put right back into stage select. Which that's interesting, because when we defeated any of the bosses here as Mega Man X, we acquired a weapon from that said boss, and we saw the weapon being used before getting taken back to the stage select screen. So I guess nothing really happened, so let's move on to our next stage here in the abandoned missile base. Let's go after Chill Penguin. Oh, would you look at that, we get new weapons after all. So for defeating Storm Eagle, we got ourselves the Long Shot Gizmo, Bang Away Bomb, and Speed Devil. So Vile does also get himself a set of weapons anytime he defeats a Maverick boss here in Maverick Hunter X. You just don't get that flashy little screen showing every single weapon you get, because he gets a variety of different weapons from defeating Mavericks. So immediately jumping in, Speed Devil's the first one that catches my eye. A layer of atmospheric pressure adds speed by reducing resistance. Basically, to translate this, Speed Devil gives you a speed increase. Now you'll move a lot faster with this Speed Devil equipped, and it's auto-equipped, so you can't take this off, but you honestly won't want to, and you'll see why once we jump in the next stage. In terms of the weapons that we unlocked, as we can see here, those said weapons we can change out before we jump into a stage, but it's not our arm cannon we got anything new with. Instead, it is our shoulder cannon here that got the new said thing, the long shot gizmo. This cannon fires 5 shots at once but leaves you open to attack. A pretty useful weapon, but since it does leave you open, you have to be mindful of using long shot gizmo with a bunch of enemies around you, but it is better than using the front runner in a lot of situations. Next up, we got ourselves our leg upgrade, the Bang Away Bomb. This napalm travels along the ground, laying a path of fire. And just like that description says, that said path of fire can attack a lot of enemies around you. And keep in mind how both the shoulder weapons and the leg weapons work, as you can use them in the air as well and get different effects. But you may have noticed here, it says cost 10 to get the Bang Away Bomb equipped, and then same for Long Shot Gizmo. This is cost of 14. I can't equip this yet, as every single stage you beat, you will get more points to use for your said weapon system here for Vile. And as of right now, we use 6 of 11 points just by equipping the weapons that we get to start the game with, because Cherry Blast, Front Runner, and Bumpity Boom, all 3 of those said weapons take 2 points to equip, which puts us at a total of 6. You cannot equip a weapon if you don't have the points to attribute to that said heart. So, even though we got some cool new stuff, we won't be using any of it outside of Speed Devil. Well, let's finally jump into our mission here and go to Chill Penguin's base.
Chill Penguin.
I'll show you how strong I am.
So immediately jumping the Chill Penguins stage here, look at the speed that we now have access to, thanks to the new Speed Boots upgrade that we got. This is a massive difference in mobility here for Vile. Hence why I like going after Storm Eagle specifically first out of all my Mavericks. Now, this is not required by any means to get the said speed upgrade for Vile first, and in fact, it might be a better idea to go after Chill Penguin first, because Chill Penguin will also give us an upgrade here for Vile, and that specific upgrade is going to make things a lot easier for us as well, but we'll be talking about that said upgrade once we unlock it here for beating Chill Penguin. For now though, just having this set speed increase is a must-have for Vile, as since he doesn't have access to a dash outside of using ride armor, this is the closest we'll get to a lot of the faster speeds that X specifically has access to thanks to his dash. So get used to this speed, because this is the fastest you'll go outside of ride armor use. Be careful, take my time destroying things, but I don't want to go too far off screen, because I can easily respawn all of these enemies that we're defeating if I go too far away, as these enemies do respawn if you go too far off the screen due to the draw distance. So let's just try to stay clear of that specific issue and stay close to all these set enemies for as long as we can here. Gonna just keep on dropping down bombs below me here, and at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and just climb over this wall and continue forward. Got ourselves some men in ride armor, and instead of fighting them head to head, we're just gonna push them down into the pit, as the ride armor has a lot of health, and we just don't really do all that much damage to it, so it's easier to just take those enemies and throw them into a pit. Where is my ride armor? There's supposed to be ride armor here. Hello? Why is there no ride armor? Huh? What? This is a new one. There's supposed to be ride armor here. Hang on. Quick fix.
Ready to give it a shot.
moment ago. Okay, I've never had ride armor not be here before. That's a new one. Sure. So you need the ride armor to break open these buildings, and as you can see here, the heart piece that would be here for X is not here. Instead, to get the said heart tank in question, we gotta go down below and destroy this said house. So, heart tanks and sub-tanks here removed in Vile's playthrough here specifically. So if you remember where all of those heart tanks and sub-tanks are located, you're gonna have to learn a whole new set for Vile's playthrough here. So that's a little annoying, but it's also a good thing that the devs did change this, because now that does give Vile more purpose to go to very specific sections here in a lot of these stages. But let's go ahead and confront our next boss here, Chill Penguin.
Vile! I've never seen a Maverick who thought he was a hunter before.
Hunter? Ha! I've never once entertained such thoughts.
Waha! Good answer, but you're still acting crazy. What exactly do you plan to do?
Same thing I always do. Crush anyone and anything who gets on my bad side.
You're finished!
Alright, here we go. Our boss fight against Chill Penguin has begun. We're gonna want to go ahead and drop bombs on the Chill Penguin's head here to do a lot of damage. But stay clear of Chill Penguin himself, because this penguin will do a lot of damage to Vile right now. So let's just keep our distance. We're gonna chill up here on this wall, get it, and stay away from the penguin himself. Keep on paying attention to what moves Chill Penguin's doing, and I just recommend keeping your distance in case Chill Penguin decides to do a lunge. And with this said bomb, that defeats the penguin. And outside of that ride armor incident, which, thank goodness we're getting so many life drops in Chill Penguin stage, that wasn't a bad run through. Although I'm still confused about the ride armor thing. Never experienced that before. That's a first. But for defeating Chill Penguin, we get ourselves two new weapons here, the Distance Needler and the Frozen Castle. The Frozen Castle specifically is another permanent equip here for Vile, and his last one too. The Frozen Castle here is essentially an armor upgrade. By utilizing a thin layer of ice, this armor reduces damage by half. So now Vile isn't as much of a glass cannon compared to before, which is why it's recommended for your first playthrough to go after Chill Penguin first here with Vile, as this will give you a armor upgrade immediately, which will help lessen the blow on so many different situations here for Vile. Although the Speed Devils are really useful to have early on too, so probably go after Storm Eagle second. But in this case, I really wanted those Speed Devils first, so we got them first, and Frozen Castle second. And for our weapon, it is a arm cannon upgrade, the Distance Needler. This Vulcan cannon has good range and speed, but cannot fire rapidly. So, as the description's saying, this weapon is good for attacking things at a long distance and is very fast, but because it cannot be fired rapidly, in some cases it may be slower compared to other arm weapons that you can use for Vile specifically. So you will have to keep this in mind, especially when you run low on ammo, because then you'll be shooting a lot slower as well. Thankfully, in our case, the cost here is only 6 points, and now we have a total of 14 points to work with, so we can actually equip the Distance Needler. So that's going to be really helpful for our next said stage. But we'll be going into our next stage here as Vile in the next episode. Next time on Let's Play Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, we'll make our way through another Maverick stage here as Vile. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.